Welcome back, Wanderers. Dave the Tabletop Wanderer here. Today we return to the Shadowlands, and after the unfortunate demise of the last party, we head out into the Shadowlands with another character. For this adventure, I will be using Defenders of the Shadowlands and Reclamation, Slums of Pelgor, both by Carsten Rossner, aka solorpg. I have taken the rules of the legendary hero creation from Slums of Pelgor and mixed it up with some of the Defenders of the Shadowlands rules. And with that in mind, I present to you our heroine, Zali, the human warrior. We find Zali in the streets of Cameron. She's looking for some work, so she heads to the local notice board. Rolling a 3, 8, and a 10, she sees the jobs available for that day. There was a guard commission, a delivery of an important item, and something about raiding a tomb. As she looked at the job offerings, she overheard some locals talking about the monsters that have taken over the slums in the lower district of the city. Even though that could have brought her some other sort of job, Zali decided to take the tomb raiding quest. She met up with the patron and learned that the job was to go into the tomb, find the demonic altar, and return an ancient relic for the conclusion of the patron's studies. If she could finish the job, she would get paid 200 gold pieces, and that would help her out a lot. The next day, Zali left Cameron towards the Hex 19I, the location of the tomb. Day 1. With her 4 movement actions, Zali traversed the plains and stopped at Hex E15. Ahead of her, she spots a hunting party of 2 goblins and a trained wolf. Trying to avoid conflict, she rolls for a dex check and gets a 19. She sneaked around the group, making sure that the wind would take her scent away from the trained wolf, and continued her journey. With the night approaching, Zali searches for a safe campsite. With a roll of a 19 on the DC of 11, Zali finds a campsite. She eats one of her rations and rests for the night. Day 2. The next day, and after her movement, she reaches a settlement of Swamp Grove in Hex 16F. This settlement lays on the edge of a swamp from where the shadow approaches every evening. As Zali enters the town, she sees the notice board. With curiosity, she takes a look to see what jobs Swamp Grove has to offer. With the rolls of 2 brave heroes needed, 5 hail adventurers, and 7 a guard commission, Zali ponders about if to take a new job or not. As she thinks about the job offerings, she hears a rustling coming from the side alley. With the roll of a 9 in the urban encounters table, Zali looks down the small street and sees 2 cultists starting to perform a dark ritual on a helpless citizen. She does not hesitate and runs in with her longsword in hand and attacks. With her initiative roll of 9 against the cultist's roll of 2, Zali attacks the first cultist, missing him with her roll of 6. The cultist responds with a roll of 12, missing Zali as she dodges his attack with his longsword. The second cultist runs in and attacks the warrior and hits with a roll of 18, dealing 2 points of damage on our heroine, slashing her extended arm holding her longsword. Zali focuses on the first cultist once again, and with fire in her eyes and a nat 20, She hits the cultist with her longsword, slicing through the cultist's stomach. He hit the ground, clutching at his belly as his eyes turned white, and then he lay still. The remaining cultist, seeing his colleague fall lifeless, slashes once more, hitting Zali for 8 points of damage. The sword finds a space in the leather armor and blood starts to trickle through the leather. Our heroine grimaces with pain and thrusts her weapon towards the cultist. A hit. A small hit. The cultist swerves at the last second, and Zali's sword slices through the fabric of his cloak, grazing his arm. The enemy, still angered from what Zali did to his friend, spins around and his sword finds the target once more, this time slashing through cloth and slicing her leg. Our heroine, feeling the pain of the cuts to her body, slashes once more, only to find nothing but air, and the cultist counterattacks with a blow to her other leg. Blood runs down both her legs and her sword arm, but Zali continues the fight, slashing the cultist once more, dealing more damage, but not enough. With a cut to his side, the cultist screams and thrusts his weapon in front of him. The weapon slides through Zali's shield and connects with the side of her torso, cutting through leather and flesh, bringing a cry of pain from the female warrior. Zali strikes once more, dealing 3 points of damage, leaving the cultist on the edge of his demise. With the two fighters badly wounded, they both missed their next attacks. And with the last of her strength, Zali thrusts her sword and still cuts the cultist's flesh, dropping him to the ground. His wounds too much for his body to endure, and he falls into death's embrace. Zali had saved the commoner. She approached the commoner and he told her that he was the cousin of the local innkeeper. He also informed her that she could go to the inn, spend the night to rest and recover, and that he would talk to his cousin and pay the bill himself as a reward for saving his life. And that is where we will stop this episode. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and thank you to all those that do leave a comment, a like, and that have subscribed. I would also like to give a big thank you to my members, whose names will be appearing on the screen. Stay safe and bye-bye.